of Virginia. Why isn't he playing for the Cavs?
Onside.
Onside and a scoring chance. The shot and the goal!
Well, very definitely Princeton being caught there in the offside trap as Friends got through it. I think it was the left fullback for Princeton. I think it might have been Chang. Now there's Chang racing back to try to get him at the end, and a beautifully taken opportunity by Nate Friends, who's sort of picking up where he left off here last year. He scored the game winner last year in the final, and here he is getting the first one against Princeton. But look at that nice chip. The keeper goes down, so he can't play it on the ground. He's got to get under it and float it over the top. But Princeton got caught trying to work the offside trap, and their left-sided defender, I think it might have been Cheng, did not pull up with the rest of the players.
Trying to beat the trap all day. They have only been offside twice.
Yeah. But Princeton does not have much depth in defense. So you look at them, they're playing straight line across the field, and that exposes them to runs through by Virginia players.
Here's Fisher to Wood. He's open the shot, save, rebound in front, and a goal! Nate Friends, his second goal of the contest.
Well, I got to say, once again, the problem of A.J. Wood going through, here's the ball played wide now out to right through the middle initially. But look at Wood, player not really close enough to him when he initially gets the ball, then closes him down. Not a good save by the keeper because that ball wasn't hit that hard. But on the other hand, look at this ball put through.
Fisher.
Now look how open he is. The player does eventually get to him, the defender for Princeton, but at the top of the box, with a player of A.J. Wood's caliber, you just can't leave it up to him because people like Friends are around, and they can take advantage of even the half touch or the half shot that a player of A.J. Wood's caliber will make. So really unfortunate defensive mistakes there by Princeton have hurt it. Does not want to give up a third goal. Virginia would love to get it because that would essentially lock the game up.
Here's Silvera, top of the box, misfired on the shot. Friends looking for three. He scores! Nate Friends, his third goal of the game. It is 3-0 Virginia.
Well, do stick around for the second half. It's fun to watch this quality soccer, but it's awful hard to come back from 3 down against Princeton. I must say I am surprised at the lack of marking and the breakdowns in the Princeton defense. But now this is just a carom, but look at all those open players, and even his first touch wasn't a very good one. Friends really almost let the ball get away from him. Look at this ball gets really away from him, and there's still nobody closing him in. I think once again Princeton seems determined when a ball is played in from a corner, for instance, like that, to immediately start pulling up. And they've gotten caught by not executing that very well, and in that case by an unlucky carom. But they kept players on side, and then they didn't mark him. So it's been a really kind of pretty lamentable defensive performance. Is the one-man scoring machine for Virginia. 3 in the semifinal, another one today. Now this corner from Fisher comes over. Friends comes in from the right of the screen, beats his man, and does a great job just hammering it in the net. Number 18 for, I think it was Clifford or King, Greg King. Greg King was beaten, and the jump there, and the keeper could not keep it out. Turner could not deflect it away. A good low headed down towards the line, which is what you want, and Friends keeps rolling.
David Turner got a hand on it, but not enough, so it's Friends from Fisher, 39-54
Kevin,
into the first half.
This is the second championship game in a row where Friends has scored the go-ahead goal for Virginia. He did it last year against San Diego, University of San Diego. so well to battle back here, but you never can count out a team of the quality of Virginia. The defense does break down here because Friends is really wide open. Poznanski let him go in behind him, and this was a beautifully struck ball and a beautifully struck volley by Friends. His 5th goal in 2 days, and his 3rd championship final goal. 2 years this man has been murdered on goalkeepers, including Turner, but a huge defensive effort finally came unglued in the last minutes by South Carolina.
Last season for the University of Virginia. Nate Friends, in fact, he netted 12 of his 13 goals in the last 13 games. He really came on strong.
Really came on strong at the end of the season. I believe he's ready to get started for this season. A very strong player. He scores a lot of goals with his head. Likes to play with his back to the goal and receive the ball, knock it off, and then get back into the midfield and into the box and score some goals.
In fact, Nate Friends, you just saw one of his goals in the Final Four, scored 5 goals in the Final Four. So Nate Friends and the University of Virginia know what it's like to be on top of college soccer. Well, just in the last 3 minutes, as we look at Nate Friends, who's caused much of the chaos in the box. Look at Chapelwell. He's going to get one teed up for him.
It drops to him here. Good in that he brings it down to his feet. A little bit of a mishit outside the right boot, goes wide.
I say teed up for him, but as you quickly pointed out, I mean, he on the flank, Nix to Silvera. Silvera, Friends the header, it's in the net, a goal! Nate Friends goal for the University of Virginia. It's 1-0.
Oh, sweet execution right there. Sweet.
Virginia goal by number 20, Nate Friends. Assist to number 9, Damien Silvera. Number 22.
Silvera, you talked about him being one of the engines for the University of Virginia Cavaliers.
Talented player that he is. He gets the ball here. He looks up, crosses the far post. Friends is up and knocks it down and in the goal.
Once again, again, Tane Nix setting up a lot of the play.
Yeah, the patience here is that he surges to the far post as opposed to dribbling or shooting. Friends is there, knocks it down over top of everybody. Boy's got some ups.
And that's not easy to do. When you come in through there to time a header, maybe you could explain that. You've got to come in full force, and there's no regret. This is Tim Weaver. Survey holds it. He's drawn 3 Virginia markers. They almost form a triangle around him when he gets the ball.
Yeah, they're very defensively sound in that they got everybody back.
Coming through, Nate Friends, it's in the net. A.J. Wood started that. And Nate Friends finished it, and he loves television.
I told you those two are very good together, reading off one another, and a good 1-2 combination there.
I think Mike Fisher may have also been involved in this as well. Starts with Wood.
Plays a nice ball on the ground diagonally towards the goal, and then Friends just comes through and knocks it in on first-time ball.
And Fisher, Mike Fisher, alertly just played the role of the dummy, just ran by the ball. Desmond, we take a look at some of the highlights. Nate Friends got things going. He loves to use the head.
Well, we said he's got some ups. He scores a lot of goals with his head, getting over top of some players here, knocking it down and into the goal.
So Nate Friends scoring for the University of Virginia Cavaliers to open things up and make it 1-0 in favor of the defending champs, the Virginia Cavaliers. Now, the San Francisco Dons, not without their opportunities. Matt Beavers, I think, had the best ones of the first half, and he really tests Mark Peters.
Yeah, he started cracking the ball from long range. It's important for them to come forward and start hitting the ball from long range to get an offense going.
All right, also for the University of Virginia, A.J. Wood, plain and simple, he's a striker. If he can get the ball in the box, he's going to strike.
Yeah, short and sweet for those guys up top. They get the ball, touch it one time, turn and shoot.
All right, so the University of Virginia, Nate Friends with 2 more goals to finish out the first half of play here at Richardson Field, Davidson, North Carolina, and the Virginia Cavaliers lead 4-0. Now, into the air, the header by Clint Pierre, and the Cavaliers will look to regroup at midfield. Billy Walsh with the effort. Beautiful ball. Oh, here comes A.J. Wood. It's off the post. The follow-up. It's in the net. Nate Friends. It's in the net.
Great follow-up. Great run by A.J. Wood. One-on-one. Hitting it with the outside of his right boot to the far post, hits the near post, bounces back. Nate Friends is there.
Some of the Virginia fans up and applauding.
Little samba dance up there in the stands.
They saw that during the World Cup with Brazil.
Bill Walsh pushed the ball through. AJ's clear, wide open on the net. Takes it one-on-one, cuts to the outside of the right boot, hits the near post here, but Nate Friends is right there to follow up and tuck it in. These two are a very good combination up top in that they play off of each other very well. They know each other.
And again, you literally pointed out is look at Scott Thompson, and he's been frustrated tonight. And again, when you're facing Virginia like that, it's going to be a long night sometimes. Virginia Cavaliers look to maintain the attack. Damian Silvera doesn't even look, just knocks over to Mike Fisher. Now Fisher threading. Fisher continues to thread. Fisher, Mike Fisher! It's in the net! Mike Fisher! Oh. He netted it.
Oh, sweet run. Picks the ball up from 30 yards out, dribbles 4 guys, and decides he's going to chip with the outside of his right boot over the goalkeeper and in the net.
Well, we talked about the experience he has. He shows it on this play.
Much confidence here. He pushes it past the player right here, goes to the outside, flicks it outside of the right boot. Oh, it's almost impossible to hit the ball like that. He shows a great deal of finesse here.
In control at every step.
Every step. Knows the goalkeeper's coming out, lifts it right over top of him.
To equal the ACC's field of play. Damian Silvera. Silvera now, he is fun to watch. To the pass, Silvera gets back in the fray. This is Steve Johnson. Steve Johnson out to D.L. O'Brien. Bryan, the shot, it's in the net! It's in the net! D.L. O'Brien, the freshman. A nice pass from Steve Johnson. And you feel for Stan Gasarana, the goalkeeper for San Francisco. Look at this. Tips it with the outside of his foot, and the attacking Virginia Cavaliers. Hard, low shot. What a thrill for the freshman, though, on national television to net his first career goal. The inaugural match of the week for College Soccer Weekly is in the books. And the defending champion Virginia Cavaliers, with the smiling Nate Friends, pick up where they left off. Bruce Arena talking with Stephen Negoesso, the head coach of San Francisco. And again, Bruce Arena, his philosophy is to continue attacking, continue to play the game, give it a full 90 minutes. And the result tonight, 6 goals, 3 by that guy, Nate Friends. We're coming back with the postgame show on College Soccer Weekly. There's your final, Virginia 6 and San Francisco 1.
Country. As we take a look at our two teams here in the Virginia-Clemson matchup, Virginia Cavaliers, they'll be wearing the orange shirts and socks. As you see the lineup, the 3 forwards, it's going to be Nate Friends in the upper right-hand corner you'll be looking for a lot of scoring.
And in the midfield, the creative element is Silvera and Fisher, and Clint P.A. is sweeping now for the Virginia team, and he had a hamstring problem earlier with the right hamstring.
In the cage, Mark Peters, a sophomore.
He's out of Winchester, Virginia, and it's been a little rough. He's been splitting time with Yuri Sagatov for Virginia.
Head coach for the Cavs is Bruce Arena. 3 times, the last 3 national championships, his team has taken it all the way. 4 of the last 5 titles. Clemson lineup, it's the Baba brothers in the middle of the forecourt. The sophomore in the front, wearing number 5, Imad, is the right foot kicker. He's many people are picking him to be a big scorer in the future, too.
His brother Nadal Baba, who we mentioned, is a great left-footed shot from well outside. In the defense for the Clemson Tigers, Jamal Green is the sweeper.
He'll be wearing number 6. In their cage, a freshman, Matt Jordan.
Jordan was...
And applause well earned by the freshman tender.
Outstanding save, Matt Jordan off the header by Nate Friends. We'll have another look at it. Clint P.A. looks to get the ball into the box. Remember, Virginia's down by 2 goals, so they got to get it in there. Here's Nate Friends going up. He heads it towards the upper corner. Look at Matt Jordan extend himself and then pull that ball into safety. Cross, and Fisher would have been in all alone to score against Matt Jordan, the goalkeeper for Clemson. But you're right, the defensive play there, hey, it doesn't have to be pretty.
Here's an opening. All alone in front of the cage. The goalie comes out and tips it away. And backup effort scores for Nate Friends. From Great Falls, Virginia, the senior gets it in.
Really almost a miraculous comeback here, and I feel bad for Matt Jordan there because he made a fantastic save on the first shot by Nate Friends. Had very little help then from his defenders to clear the rebound. You look at Matt Jordan there, he's a freshman, but he's been huge today. He's been huge most of the year for Clemson. Now this is Clint P.A. He splits the entire Clemson defense. Nate Friends runs through. He's not off onside because he ran after the ball was played. Look at the save here by Matt Jordan. But then he can't get the rebound, nor can anybody else. But Nate Friends, who's the superlative scorer for Virginia, and he comes up with the tying goal with 26 minutes left in regulation play. Of the foul by Yenser.
Nice try, diving headshot attempted. Looks by
was Nate Friends driving into the box there in the cross from A.J. Wood from the right side. And Nate Friends, if you go back to last year's NCAA tournament, he finished those off. He had 3 goals in the national semifinal, 2 goals in the national final. And here he is, Nate Friends, going up for this head ball off the cross from the right side by A.J. Wood, and he just gets under. If he heads that ball down, it's almost a certain goal and probably a certain victory going to come from behind by Virginia. Here's my clutch player for Virginia, though, is Mike Fisher, the Fish. A goal and assist early in this half when things were really down for Virginia. He got him back in the game.
got something started, no doubt about it. Can they finish it up? Can the Fish be a finisher?
How about Nate Friends? He now has 13 goals and 9 TV appearances. He likes the cameras, and there he goes.
Across the cage, and it goes past the goalie. What an amazing angle on that shot. Into the goal, and the go-ahead goal, and they're all over him.
And that's just a crushing goal for Clemson's hopes of getting the desired result out of this game. Virginia have now scored 4 consecutive unanswered goals. That's redundant, I know, but I'm trying to emphasize it. But Nate Friends, in fact, did try and beat Jordan at the near post. And this is maybe the only time this game you could even want to fault Matt Jordan. Look at Nate Friends, all the space again that he has. Now he's going to take Jamal Green on one-on-one. He accelerates, gets into the space, drives into the boxer, and Matt Jordan's expecting a cross. Instead, Nate Friends just slots it towards that near post and tucks it away for the go-ahead goal for Virginia, the first time in this entire game that they've led.
Interesting point to make that he is the man who delivers in the clutch. They're pulling him off now to give him a break. 2 consecutive goals for Nate. In fact, from our opinion, the first one originally ruled unassisted. This one ruled unassisted. The table changed that a little bit later on, but this is the MVP of the game right here.
This was closer to being an unassisted goal because he took that ball 40-50.
NCAA Men's Soccer Championship, the first semifinal this afternoon between the Rutgers Scarlet Knights and the defending champion Virginia Cavaliers. Dave Johnson back with my broadcast partner Desmond Armstrong. We're talking about the 3-time defending champion Virginia Cavaliers. And Desmond, you look back at the history of why they've won 3 titles in a row. Certainly I can think of 2 reasons. A.J. Wood and Nate Friends. In 26 postseason games, they've recorded 29 goals and 9 assists between them. How do they work into the Virginia offense where we so often talk about the midfield?
Well, they're essential. It takes for UVA to solidify the midfield, then push the ball to the outside, swing it back in, and then you'll see A.J. Wood and Nate Friends get their head on it or their foot on it and score some goals.
Now, often for Virginia, when we talk about the defense, we mentioned their very talented sweeper, Clint P.A. A guy who may not get the headlines, but certainly is worthy of notice, is Brandon Pollard. How does Brandon Pollard figure in the scheme?
Pollard is a key essential back in the defense because he can mark the best forwards from the opposing team, shut them down, and then get the rhythm flowing for UVA.
All right, I think you've waited long enough. We're getting set for the first semifinal this afternoon between the Rutgers Scarlet Knights and the Virginia Cavaliers. We're coming back with the starting lineup. Stay with us from Davidson, North Carolina. We're trying to control it and set it upfield as the Virginia Cavaliers are facing the bulk of the Rutgers attack right now. Pedro Lopes with a challenge, but now Virginia looking to counterattack. Nate Friends. Friends with a burst of speed. Gets around Meyer. Friends comes into the box. The shot. And wide right. But that electrified the crowd here in Davidson, North Carolina.
Great one-on-one run by Nate Friends to get into the box. He should have shot the ball as opposed to crossing across the face of the goal.
There'll be a goal kick coming up from Mark Peters. He is the goalkeeper for the Virginia Cavaliers. In front of him, Ryan Borst, Clint P.A., and Brandon Pollard. Sean Fury, Tane Nix, Damian Silvera, Mike Fisher, and Billy Walsh make up the midfield. Nate Friends and A.J. Wood at the top for the Virginia Cavaliers. Again, they're going after their 4th title. Work wide. A.J. Wood cuts in the middle. Now Damian Silvera. This is a deadly attack. Silvera stays with it. Mike Fisher now. Likes to go far side. Sean Fury can't get around the Rutgers defender. We have a throw-in, though, coming up for the Virginia Cavaliers. Again, Virginia in the white, Rutgers in the red and white. Damian Silvera, cross right at the 6-yard mark. Nate Friends, Tane Nix, the shot, just wall. That may have kissed the woodwork.
So close. Rutgers is slow on their recovery, slow on the defense. The ball is bouncing too much in the 18-yard box, allowing for UVA to get clear shots like this one coming up. The ball goes back out to the 18, gets knocked down. Fair challenge, but right here he's got a free shot and just goes wide.
I'll tell you what, that wasn't far off the goalpost. Give you an idea of how close it was. 1-1 the score, 15 minutes left here. Certainly an equal partner after the head ball. Whittleson had to get up and grab it. Nate Friends looking to get onto it. Pedro Lopes back on defense. Friends with the cross. Here comes Mike Fisher. Andreas Meyer with a neat header to get it out of danger. Now Brent Longenegger. The tension mounts. So does the pressure. Ryan Borst for Mike Fisher. Now Brannigan will handle it for Rutgers. 36 minutes left in the second half. 1-1 is our score. Well, this is what you want from a semifinal. Tightly contested game.
Yeah, offense going back and forth. No one team dominating too much for a long period of time.
Mike Fisher. Clint P.A. now. They work it wide.
Ooh, nice take.
Ray Walsh with a good move. The cross. Todd Denault clears the way. Put in the box. Tay Nix with the shot. Andreas Meyer's going to have to bring it out, and he does. Brandon Pollard. Look out, Virginia stepping up. Looking for A.J. Wood. Goes across the middle. Here comes Billy Walsh. It's in the net. It's in the net. A goal for the University of Virginia. The glory and the frustration.
Again, we talked about defensive errors. The ball's played across the goal mouth. Lopes gets to it, bounces off of him. He doesn't attack the ball. Walsh is there to knock it in the back of the net.
Yep. 2-1 the score. Billy Walsh from Brandon Pollard.
From behind, we see it as the ball comes in. It's going to hit off of Lopes and go towards the goal. Walsh comes in, little slide, half volley, back of the net.
Comes with 36 minutes left. In the second half of play, we have a 2-1 game now. The Virginia Cavaliers are getting the defending champions the last 3 years, trying to get back to the title one more time. Brent Longenegger cannot get around Clint P.A.
He's a steady player. Again, effortless.
Or appears that way anyway. 9 minutes left in regulation. 2-1 the score.
It's because he doesn't grimace.
Maybe after the game, right? Nate Friends. Oh, Nate Friends with some silk. Alan Brannigan. A.J. Wood steals it, fires a shot. That'll be a corner kick coming up for the Virginia Cavaliers. Look at Alan Brannigan. He's had an afternoon.
What happened there was Nate Friends loses the ball offensively, but then automatically he's on the defense. Pops the ball up, A.J. Wood's on top of it, takes a shot, and they get a corner kick out of it.
Good Bruce Arena, the head coach of the Virginia Cavaliers. Look at Mike Fisher taking the corner kick. Look for the big headers of A.J. Wood and Billy Walsh. He puts it in the air. Walsh got a leg on it. Behind him. Good idea, though.
A very good idea.
Brent Longenegger now for Rutgers. Stole away from behind by A.J. Wood, but Rob Johnson gets a boot on it. Now Andreas Meyer. And Ryan Borst, not only the tackle, but now the pass for Nate Friends. Friends trying to wheel around Todd Denault. Nate Friends. What was that?
7.5.
That was a spring-loaded trip, if that was the case. A free.
Friends does good, though, to get to the end of the ball, pull it back, don't go to goal, possess it, and he gets a free kick out of it.
Nate Friends. Good look at what he has meant. 43 points this season for the Virginia Cavaliers. Mike Fisher on the free kick. And he's going to get a card for wasting time. There you go.
Again, the referee has done a great job in this game.
That's something I'd like to see more in some of the European games you watch, where it gets toward the end of the game, the goalkeeper starts to pick at grass, and Fisher When the corner kick goes off the wall, you can take some time, but you can't take too much because that's just, as the call is, unsportsmanlike conduct.
Definitely. That's why they had that no pass back rule implemented, where the goalkeeper can't pick it up.
Yeah, the goalkeepers were making a career just fiddling with the ball. The next step now, though, is when they rightly do have the right to a goal kick, they shouldn't be allowed to take out.
Oh, sweet move.
Fisher with a move. Friends cannot finish.
Well, he was blocked there. That was a great defensive effort.
But another corner kick coming up for the Virginia Cavaliers. They are leading this one 2-1 with a scant 60 seconds plus remaining in this, the second half of play. On the corner. Longenegger pokes it away. Will Rutgers get another run at this? Will their 6-game winning streak be over? And will Virginia be back in the NCAA final? Don't move, we'll find out. Tane Nix. Far post, good looking idea. Goal kick for Rutgers. 37 seconds.